Okay, guys, we are getting ready to start lesson 3, exercises, guided practice for lesson 3. And it's going to be an easy lesson to do because it's just using the back office or backstage view. So the first thing it tells us to do is to open 03 Contoso Potluck. So I'm going to go to this PC and I'm going to open it from my flash drive. If you don't have your flash drive, you're going to download it from Google Classroom. And I'm going to my Excel 2016 folder and I'm going to open up this one. Okay. And as it's opening, it's just going to, the first part we're going to do is set a print area. So we're just going to set the print area for this part. So once it's open, it tells us to select cell range A3 through A13 and then go to the file, print. And in the navigation pane under settings, it should say print active sheets. A drop down menu options displays for the setting the print area. And we want to choose print selection. So you see how it changes to where the only thing that you can see are the items, the menu items that people were going to bring. And then if I wanted to print this, and I'm not going to print it right now, I would just hit print and this will be the only thing that would print. I'm going to hit the return to document arrow. And this time we're going to print selected worksheets. Before I do that, I'm going to save this as 03 Contoso Potluck Solution. File, save as. And make sure you save everything because you might use it later on throughout the class. So make sure everything that you do is saved and in a folder so you'll know where you need to find it. So I'm going to hit save. And I had saved it earlier, so I'm going to just click OK. And I'm going to close this out. And then the next section tells me to open up the potluck departments, and that's here. So I'm going to open that. And this is a modified version of the potluck workbook. There are different worksheets for 3 different departments. So the departments, look to the bottom of the screen, is HR, operations, and finance. And you'll see that the name changes in the upper right hand corner. So I'm going to click the HR tab, make sure I have selected the HR tab and press Control P, which also gets us to the print panel. In the backstage view, in the print preview pane, we can see here the first worksheet would display with the HR as the department. Excel only prints only the active sheet by default. So print active sheet, this will be the only one that will print out of the 3 if I wouldn't change anything. So I'm going to press escape to return to the document. And while the HR worksheet is active, I'm going to hold down Control and click on the Finance tab. So Control, Finance, and you see how it highlighted both the HR and the Finance worksheets, which means they are both selected. Then I'm going to click the File tab and then click Print. And now in the Print Preview area, the bottom of the screen shows 1 or 2. You can't see it there, but because I'm recording, but you'll see it'll just show 1 or 2 for you when you get ready to do it with the HR worksheet preview. We're going to click the right arrow to go to the second page and notice that the finance worksheet will show, and that's there. And then let's go back to the first page. And this time I'm going back to the print active sheets. And I'm going to click the print active sheet, and I'm going to select print active sheet, and it will print both of these sheets for us, not just the one. If I was to would have chosen print selection. So I will hit print, but I'm not. I'm going to return to document. I'm going to close this workbook without saving. And this time I'm gonna go to, I didn't mean to close it out. I'm gonna hit the open tab. And because I just used this one, we can see that it's still at the top. So I'm gonna click it to open it. Then I'm gonna click the file tab and print. Notice that the complete workbook does not display in the print preview area, just that one. This is because we did not save the workbook earlier after we selected both HR and finance, so that's not saved. So that's why that's the only one that's showing. This time I'm gonna go to print active sheets and click print entire workbook. And notice that it changes from one of three. So now I can see all three of the workbooks. There's operations and there's finance. So I can see all three of the workbooks. I'm going to click return to the document. And I'm going to close that out without saving. This time I'm going to open the HR Potluck. And I want to make sure HRP1 at the bottom is the one that's selected. So there's two here, HRP2, and it's a little bit different, but make sure you have HRP1 selected. We're going to click the File tab and then select Print. Notice that the worksheet is small, and it might be nice to have lines for people to write in on the printed page. So in the settings area of the print window, I'm going to click the margins drop down arrow. And then I'm going to click wide. The new margins will allow the worksheet to be hole punched and put in a binder. Then I'm going to click the scaling drop down arrow. So here's scaling where it says no scaling. And I see no scaling, which means the document prints the same size as the worksheet. I see fit sheet on the page. That shrinks the printout so that everything fits on that one page. And then there's fit all columns on one page. That's if only a couple of columns are extra. So if I have like 2 columns that are left over, it'll put it so it'll be all on one page. And then fit all rows on one page. The same thing. If it's only a couple of rows that's going to be left over, I can fit them on one page. I can also do this feature in page layout, but we will learn that later. In this case, you want to make sure the text is larger without changing the font. So I'm going to click Custom Scaling Options. And the Page Setup dialog box appears. Make sure the Page tab is selected. So this Page tab is selected. You have a Margins, Header, Footer, and a Sheet tab. So make sure your Page tab is selected. In the scaling area, I'm going to type 175%. For the percent normal size. And we're going to click the Sheet tab, which is over here. And in the print selection, we're going to select the grid lines checkbox. So here's your grid lines. You also have black and white, draft quality, and if you want your row and column headings to appear on each page, you can select that as well. Click OK to return to the backstage. Notice at the bottom of the screen still says 1 or 2 minute, only one page of print. And notice without printing the document, we're not going to print the document. So and you can see here that once we selected 175%, your text is larger. So that was what that was about. And we're going to go back to the document.